What's happening, family? Dr. Joe here. Hope each of you are well and blessed. Another edition of the Transformation Lab. We're talking about inflammation. Inflammation is a hot topic in the health and wellness kind of lane. You hear a lot about it. Inflammation, inflammation, inflammation. But a lot of people don't know, hey, how do I know that I'm inflamed? How do I know that I'm suffering with these things? These are 6 clues that you are suffering from some element of inflammation. The more of these you have, the larger the state of inflammation is in the body. Number one is gut issues. If you're suffering from chronic constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, if you're suffering from Crohn's disease, you hear the terminology leaky gut, which is nothing more than your intestines having gaps and holes. And once you eat food, the food goes through the gut and it creates an immune response. That's why we're seeing such a spike in autoimmune disorders like Crohn's, a lot of digestive type issues. All of these things are attached to inflammation in the body. All right. So number one is gut health. Number two, skin. Skin is the largest organ in the body. The skin should radiate. The skin should be glowing. The skin should be hydrated. The skin is a reflection on the outside of the state of what's going on the inside. Any cream, any elixir, any serum, any type of skin health regimen that is sold to you, that is presented to you, that is marketed towards you in order to optimize the health of your skin is a scam. You cannot correct skin issues externally. The skin is nothing more than the projector screen on the movies. It's a reflection of something that is coming from somewhere else. All right. Oily skin, dry skin, psoriasis, rashes, eczema, hives. Any type of skin issue is a manifestation of something that is coming from an inflamed state, mostly due to eating genetically modified organisms, which is 90% of what we find in the aisles of any grocery store here in America or in the West. It could be some type of food sensitivity that you have, some type of food allergy, too much of processed foods, too much sugar. Really, the SAD diet, the standard American diet, is indicative of skin issues. That once you remove the inflammatory causing foods, once you increase hydration, once you mobilize the immune system in a healthy way, those types of issues will cease. Body odor, all right? Body odor is a classic sign of inflammation. Here in the West, a lot of people have hygiene issues, men and women. I think the way you combat it for men and women is a bit different because anatomically we are different. But if you're having sexual relations with a person, if you give off or exude odors and smells that aren't pleasing, you should not have to mask your body with perfumes, with colognes, with body sprays, with all types of cover-ups due to body odor issues. Once again, the odor that is exuding from your body is coming from an inflamed state. Your body is becoming septic in a way to where the inflammation is leading to a degradation of holistic health and wellness internally. All right. The natural smell of a human being, and I'm trying to keep this kosher, but a natural smell of a human being, even when that human being is not freshly showered or clean, should not be a smell that offends the person that you're with. All right. Inflammation kind of leads to body odor issues. The cleaner you are internally, the more your smell, the more your fragrance, the more your pheromones will shift and change. Let's keep that in mind in moving forward. All right. Rashes and psoriasis. We talked about this briefly with the skin, but dandruff, dry scalp, flaky scalps, any type of hives, any type of psoriasis, eczema, skin issues, hyperpigmentation, all of these are byproducts of inflammation in the body. Two more. Number one is the next one, not number one, but the next one is joint pain. If you have pains in your elbows, right, wrist, ankles, knees, hips, it's due to two reasons. Number one, mostly it is due to the body holding too much weight. We are an obese culture, and Black people lead in the obesity here in the West. But number two is a byproduct of what causes obesity, and that is a poor diet. That's most times being exposed to high levels of blood sugar. So when you have individuals who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, you are automatically going to be targets of inflammation. All right. Those types of things manifest themselves in the joints, and it's creating a great moneymaker for the pharmaceutical companies as well as the medical industry. The pharmaceutical companies who treat autoimmune diseases, rheumatoid arthritis, or other issues, pain management, as well as you see a high degree of knee and hip replacements, which in most instances could have been avoided had individuals been taught healthy living, establishing a proper and a healthy relationship with food, and doing it in a consistent way. You should be able to, your hips should last you your whole life. Your knees should last you your whole life. We haven't had hip and knee replacements within the last generation. But once again, it's a way to monetize on those who are not taught properly and those who are ignorant, not dumb, but people who are not exposed to the truth. When you know better, you do better. Finally, overall mental clarity. You hear a lot about mental fog. You wake up and your mind is in a fog. You can't get things going. So what we do is we have to counterbalance this byproduct of inflammation in the body that is causing our cognitive well-being to be compromised and to be mitigated. And then what we have to do is we have to overstimulate ourselves to bring ourselves to a new type of balance, to a new state of existence. And that means we overly caffeinate ourselves. So we're taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cups of coffee, Cokes, Diet Cokes, which exacerbates the inflammation that's in the body. All of what I'm talking about in terms of inflammation is not resolved by a pill. It's not resolved by anything but education and consistency. Individuals who come through the 40-day turn up in the Journey 3.0 Plus process can eliminate 80 to 90% of all inflammation within the first 30 days. Easy. I see it each and every day. When it's marketed to you, it looks like it's a bigger deal than it is. It's just understanding how to eat. It's establishing a good relationship with food. And it's realizing that your body is your temple. And it's realizing that the first step of self-mastery is controlling what I put in this temple. It's also realizing that every emotional state that I find myself living in starts with how I treat this temple, from my sexual health, to my emotional health, to my spiritual health, to my mental health, to every element of this humanistic experience can be addressed without breaking the bank, all right, without causing you to pay thousands of dollars to someone who's taking your money. But what Black folks need is someone who cares enough to tell us the truth and to motivate us to be accountable, that we may eat not like individuals who are in this society, but how our ancestors ate. They were kings and queens because they understood how to eat like kings and queens. And kings and queens do not eat like paupers. Why should we?